Las Vegas is often thought of as the wedding capital of the country. Want to get married quickly? Come to Las Vegas. Well, this week, some of the most important couplings in the computer industry will take place here. Not at one of these little wedding chapels, but over at the convention center at the Consumer Electronics Show. One example, the unlikely mating of a high-end workstation company, Silicon Graphics, and a low-end video game maker, Nintendo. Today, you're invited to be one of the guests at the wedding reception as we witness the ritual of industry convergence, as they call it at CES, on this special edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is brought to you in part by Intel, microprocessor technology for the software of today and tomorrow. Intel, the computer inside. Additional funding is provided by the Software Publishers Association, providers of educational materials to help manage software. Don't copy that floppy. And by Hewlett-Packard, Personal Computer Division.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee here at the Winter Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, along with Tim Baharin, President of Creative Strategies. Tim, we've got computer companies here, game companies, a lot of these new alliances we've heard about. A lot of computer companies. Is this evidence that the computer guys really are focusing on the home market, on the consumer as the real growth area?
Yeah, the computer companies see that this is a big opportunity to get their computers into the home. And so you got Compaq, a guy that would never even think about being here at this show, having a huge booth. What we're going to see happen more and more, the computer companies are going to say, look, there's a new opportunity, whole new audience we've never even tapped. Let's bring our multimedia PCs, our more graphics-oriented systems, get them in the home as much as possible. So this is really the start of a big move for them to the consumer market.
What about communications and phones here?
Yeah, in the past, the big news here had been wireless telephones. That was about it. But now they've got pagers, they've got all kind of wireless technology, wireless modems. What they really want to do is untether people from the wires. And so there's a big emphasis here on wireless technology and something that will be a continuing trend for CES.
All right, the big battle, the big war, the big money here is all about games though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And last year the big news was 3DO. But this year, it's here at the particular show is things like Silicon Graphics and Nintendo with their 64-bit announcement. It's Sega talking about the Hitachi chip they're going to do with 64-bit. They all want to take everybody up to the next generation. And nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to be the big winner. So yeah, there's a lot of noise here, but the bottom line is that the game market is so big that this is going to be one of the biggest battles in the next few years.
All right, let's go down to the floor of this winter CES and see the newest and the neatest in consumer technology. The annual Winter Consumer Electronics Show is a giant marketplace for retailers to find the new products that will fill their shelves and hopefully fly off their shelves into the hands of adoring consumers. Consumer electronics is a $40 billion a year business. In the past, it's included products like car stereos, TVs, camcorders, and video games. But as you can tell from any Circuit City ad, consumer electronics now includes personal computer products. At this CES, there was evidence yet again of the merger of the entertainment industry and the computer industry. Hollywood and Silicon Valley were partners in a host of new products. Sony Electronic Publishing showed off Lawnmower Man, a CD-ROM game which uses film clips from the movie of the same name, which was all about virtual reality. In the game, you exist in a three-dimensional modeled world that lets you pan your environment a full 360 degrees. Sony was also showing off Cyber Race, a 3D combat and racing simulation that was designed by Sid Mead. He's no hacker. His film credits include Star Trek, Blade Runner, and Aliens. If you're a Star Trek Next Generation fan, Spectrum Holobyte came out with the first computer games featuring the new Star Trek crew of Captain Picard.
Where images of reality can be created by our computer.
Virtual reality products were big at this CES. Advanced Gravis demonstrated its new VFX-1, a virtual reality headset that can connect to the VGA port of your PC. Logitech showed off its new Cyberman 3D controller. Not only can you navigate in 3 dimensions, but the Cyberman controller features pulsating tactile feedback so that you can actually feel it when you fire a weapon. Sports games expanded from the traditional football, basketball, and baseball simulations into hockey and soccer. This is Brett Hull hockey from Accolade, including play-by-play commentary from Al Michaels. The play action is based on actual digitized videotapes of real hockey players. And this is U.S. Gold's newest sports simulation, World Cup USA 94, just in time for the real World Cup soccer matches to be held in the United States starting in June. Virtual reality and simulations weren't limited to sports and adventure games at CES. This is The Key from Lone Star Technologies, a game for tone-deaf rock music fans.
Well, the key is an interactive multimedia musical instrument which allows anyone to become musical. It unlocks the music in all of us. And how it does that is by accepting what we call key code, which can come from a variety of different media sources. Key code consists of information of the bass line, the lead or melody line, the chord structure, and also the scaling, so that when you go up and down the neck of the unit, it's always in key with the music, and that's why we call it the key.
Rickenstein says new music videos will be coming out with encoded tracks that will work with the key, so that even you will be able to play along with Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, and the Lemonheads. Coming up next, the PC invasion at CES. The prevailing wisdom here is that the big growth opportunity for personal computers is in the home and consumer market. That certainly seems to be holding true here at CES, as exhibitors like Compaq prove that positioning your PC as a home appliance will sell a lot of computers.
In this part of the market, as opposed to the business part of the marketplace, what people really desire is to have lots of things that make them functional right away. They don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what software they need and trying to figure out all the extras that would be helpful or that they ought to have had when they first bought it. And so we include a lot of the pre-installed software that allows you to do that. Word processing and database, games for entertainment, online services to be able to get information, and try and make those things as easy as possible. We also include a lot of ease of use utilities and try to customize our software in a way such that people who haven't used computers a lot before would still feel comfortable with the technology and wouldn't be too intimidated by it.
The Presario is Compaq's answer to consumer simplicity. It's a Macintosh look-alike with CPU and monitor all in one unit. It comes with pre-installed software, a built-in telephone answering machine, and an integrated fax modem. The Presario's user-friendly design has made it the fastest-selling new product in Compaq's history. But Compaq hasn't forgotten its roots and its large installed base of business customers. The company was also showing off its new Concerto notebook PC. You can use it with the keyboard, or you can detach the keyboard and use it as a pen-based portable. While most companies are trying to add communications capability to portable PCs, IBM and Bell South have teamed up to add computing power to a cellular phone. This is the Simon Personal Communicator. It's basically a portable cell phone with an LCD touchscreen that lets you access desktop organizing software and lets you easily interface with its fax, email, and paging capabilities.
There are so many things that a customer can do with the device. First and foremost, it's a cellular phone. You can send and receive phone calls over the cellular network. In addition, you can send and receive faxes, send and receive email through Lotus CC Mail Remote. It has all your personal organization functions you need: address book, calendar, to-do list, world clock time, calculator. It does have a game if you get bored at the airport. You have a notepad for typing notes using 2 different keyboards. We have a standard QWERTY keyboard and an IBM-designed Predict-A-Key keyboard that actually gives you the 6 most likely used letters in the U.S. English language. Once you select a letter, it'll give you the next 6 most likely letters to follow the one you selected.
The Simon PC is available now for under $900. It wasn't only hardware companies that were courting the home market. Even mega software companies like Microsoft were shifting gears and going after the individual user.
We've established a new brand, Microsoft Home, which covers all the products that we've designed specifically for home, the home market. This differentiates ourselves from our office products, which are for business. We plan to have over 100 products for the home in the next 12 months.
Why the sudden interest in the home user? Because there are more of them, thanks to lower PC prices and friendlier graphical user interfaces.
Well, the biggest improvement, of course, is the GUIs. I mean, you can say all you want about Windows is inconsistent and problematic next to a Macintosh. It sure beats the C prompt, and there's just no way around that. When we started the PC business 10, 15 years ago, I sure thought everybody ought to have a home computer, but I had 15 years of mainframe experience behind me. Today, you don't need 15 years of mainframe experience behind you. All you need is to get a PC, plug it in, and start clicking the mouse.
General Magic is taking the next step toward even friendlier interfaces with its new operating system. The General Magic GUI features actual pictures of the items in your office, so you can interact with your computer by literally opening desk drawers for accessories and going down the hall to get to third-party application doors. WordPerfect also showed up at CES with its new consumer product line called Main Street. New titles from the new WordPerfect include entertainment programs like Captain Karaoke. WordPerfect says it wants its new software products to have broad appeal and be easy to use.
Actually bringing the software down so that you feel very comfortable using it in your home. It's easy to understand, has a brilliant interface, very easy to use, and also seeing the computer as a place where you can bring the whole family around. This is something that everyone can use. It's not just for mom and dad, it's not just for the executive, but we have titles now that will range from 4-year-olds all the way up to 90-year-olds.
Another computer company exhibiting at CES for the first time was MediaVision. They demonstrated a program called Critical Path on their new Reno personal CD-ROM drive. Reno is a portable, double-speed CD-ROM player with photo CD and audio capability. MediaVision also introduced the Pro Audio Soundboard as a companion product to Reno. This is a PC MCIA sound card that lets notebook users add sound to their games or run other multimedia applications. If you're serious about multimedia on your notebook computer, you may need more hard disk storage. Maxtor was also at CES with a solution, a new PC MCIA hard drive. This is a 105 megabyte drive on a card. The 1.8-inch disk drive fits into a Type 3 PC MCIA slot. Coming up next, interactive television. With full-motion video on computers and microchips inside television sets, it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference between a TV and a PC. That's leading to a whole new product category, interactive television.
All these boxes are going to become the same boxes. Some of them will have really big screens and will sit in your living room, and you'll control it with a handheld clicker, and that's where you'll do entertainment kinds of things and family campfire kinds of things. Some of the boxes will have smaller screens, and they'll sit in your den or your office, and they'll have a keyboard attached, and they'll have a mouse attached, and you'll also do some entertainment things there, but that's where you'll maybe balance your checkbook, pay your bills, check your stock portfolio.
The newest venture from Prodigy is Prodigy TV, online information delivered not by telephone line, but through your cable television wire. Here's how it works. Say you're watching the local news on TV. At the same time, Prodigy is scanning other news reports for keywords that you previously selected as indicating items you're interested in. Should one of those stories come across, a transparent icon would show up in the corner of your TV screen. You click on the icon, and the news you're watching shrinks to a window while a news highlights box opens up. But Prodigy TV is designed to be more than just a news service. It will also allow you to talk back to your television.
They want to do the same thing with the TV. They want to yell at the coach, no, that was the wrong play. No, take him out, put the other guy in. They want to say, gee, bat out of hell, too. Some people might think it wasn't worth the wait. I think it was worth the wait. And they're going to want to say, tell me who is that backing vocalist? Where can I write to Meatloaf to tell him that I think this is great? Where can I order some merchandise? They'll see something on TV, instant gratification. They'll want it. They'll click on it.
Prodigy TV is now available only in San Diego, but the company plans to expand nationwide later this year. Silicon Graphics, the computer company, and Time Warner, the cable company, were also talking about interactive television. Their experiment on the information superhighway will be offered to cable subscribers in Orlando, Florida later this year.
They'll be able to do video on demand, and they may be able to sit back and watch or select 3,000 different videos at their own, pace, stop and pause it whenever they want to, watch it whenever they want to. And that can evolve very quickly. The telephone will be incorporated into it. Your voicemail will probably be, and maybe it's video voicemail. So it's just a logical progression.
3DO is also venturing into interactive TV with plans for an add-on cartridge that will let you watch movies through your 3DO game console and even let you connect it to your cable TV system.
We're going to be adding a full motion video cartridge that plugs on the side of the machine, which will allow you to play video CDs, so you can get full motion movies in very high quality in stereo and play those. And then I think, though many consumers won't be able to take advantage of this, we're participating in a trial in Omaha, a cable trial, where consumers in Omaha will get to be able to get all of this over a cable network using the 3DO system as a set-top box. So that's another very exciting thing that'll happen product-wise.
In the coming world of the information superhighway, no one is quite sure where the road will start. RCA wants the launch point to be a satellite in space, sending you all digital programming.
The product basically is the first digital product to be delivered to American homes in any way, shape, or form. It's going to deliver over 150 channels of CD quality sound and digital Super VHS quality picture. So in essence, with line inputs, you can get 400 lines of resolution on your current video rather than the standard 230 to 260 that you get through RF, just through your cable or your off-air antenna. So we think that the availability of 150 channels, the greater picture, the greater sound, the performance, and the ability to personalize your own viewing is going to be very attractive to the American consumer.
RCA's digital satellite system program service is due to launch this spring. They'll be selling an 18-inch diameter receive dish and converter box for under $1,000. The monthly subscription charge is expected to be about $25. But with the new DSS service, you'll get more than just television shows.
On one of our units, we have an RS-232 data port, for the downloading of non-video information. We think that for the high-tech video consumer, the audiophile, the videophile, or the computer enthusiast, we think that this makes a lot of sense, because what they can do is they can basically downlink right to the satellite. The computer information that is on the satellite, or the non-video information that's on the satellite, can be loaded right into your computer, into a printer, and basically, while you're watching something, you can simultaneously be getting information off your CRT or off your keyboard or whatever you're doing, or your printer.
With 150 channels of digital TV, you'll probably want a better TV set. Panasonic was ready with several choices. This is a prototype of their new flat vision TV, which you can hang on a wall. Unlike older flat-screen technologies, the new Panasonic TV uses an active beam matrix screen, which means you can easily see the screen from any angle. Panasonic also introduced a new 50-inch projection TV in letterbox format, so you can watch those Laserdisc movies in their original widescreen aspect ratio. Once you've got the big wide screen, what's left but 3D? Well, Sanyo was actually demonstrating the first ever three-dimensional television set that can be viewed without special glasses. It's obviously hard to show you what it really looked like. Sanyo also showed off a new 120-inch high-definition TV in 3D. For this one, you did need glasses. Finally, if you just can't stand those commercials on TV, Arista Technologies has come up with the answer, a product called Commercial Break. It's a black box that goes between your TV set and VCR. When you play back a recorded program, the Arista box recognizes commercials and automatically puts your VCR in fast forward until the commercial break ends. The Arista technology can sense the change in video source when a program gets interrupted by an ad. Coming up next, the battle of the video game platforms. The battle between video game makers here at CES would probably make a pretty good video game itself, as Sega, Nintendo, Commodore, Atari, and 3DO fight not only over market share, but over the standards for a new video game rating system.
These companies such as Sega, 3DO, Atari, Acclaim, id Software, and Apogee already have and use rating systems. So there are rating systems in use today. But a proliferation of rating systems is confusing to retailers and to consumers alike. And even before this issue became an issue in the halls of Congress or in the media, there was a growing belief that we needed a single, easily recognizable system to rate and label our products.
The Software Publishers Association sponsored this video game industry gathering in an effort to develop a unified rating system, similar to the one used by the movie industry.
Parents have expressed increasing concern about the amount of violence in video games that are brought into the home. Secondly, congressional hearings focused the attention of parents and the industry on this issue.
The video game that brought attention to the violence issue is Mortal Kombat from Ultratech.
Well, there are a lot of video games out there that are just as violent, I think, as Mortal Kombat is. It's just that Mortal Kombat has gotten the attention. And in those games, whether it's Mortal Kombat or something else, you will see, if you walk around the show, you'll see other games where there's blood on screen, albeit animated. And I think in comparison to other, whether it's TV or movie violence, it's relatively mild in the final analysis. If you're not familiar with Mortal Kombat, it is a martial arts battle. There are 8 people that compete to be grand champion, and they go against each other with karate type moves, martial arts type moves, and at the end in our game there are things called fatalities, and a fatality is a move where someone can finish another player.
It doesn't necessarily take violence to make a bestseller video game. One of the all-time hits is Spectrum Holobyte's Tetris, written by a Russian programmer, Alexei Pajitnov. And he says the key to video game success is not violence or fancy hardware, but addictive gameplay.
All the industry now is very concerned about technology, about more hardware, more technical stuff, but somehow the other part of the game, which is a human part, which is a psychological part, is a little bit in a shadow. But this is very important because, Tetris is a very simple game, but it's so addictive.
But the real battle in the game industry is between the competing platforms. Sega is the current leader, but only by a slight margin over rival Nintendo. In an effort to keep their edge, Sega demonstrated the latest in player interface, the Activator, and they released Sonic the Hedgehog 3. In this newest version of Sonic, players can save unfinished games for later play. The hottest new 16-bit game system at CES was the new Genesis CDX. It's a portable unit that plays both cartridges and CDs. This game is Prize Fighter, an example of the fast action possible with the Genesis CD system.
I'm stopping the fight.
Another improvement in game technology is the ability to interact with remote opponents. You wouldn't think of AT&T as a game company, but they introduced something called Edge 16. A peripheral for the Sega Genesis unit that transmits your joystick movements over telephone lines to another player. The Edge 16 device also can transmit sounds so you can hear an opponent's reaction to your maneuvers. While Sega and Nintendo were fighting over the 16-bit game platform, much of the video game excitement at CES revolved around the new 32-bit game systems. The new 32-bit 3DO game console uses CD-ROMs and costs about $700, but the folks at 3DO say the difference in game playing is worth the price.
The first thing I think that probably hits you will be the graphics and the animation. You're flying in this fighter over the planet that looks extremely realistic with scenery fading in as you fly towards it. And then all of a sudden you say, gee, I want to do a barrel roll, and all that scenery, that very complex 3D scenery, just flips as you turn around. So the first thing that grabs you is, gee, the realism. 16 million colors instead of like 256 colors on a video game.
Commodore is trying to regain its position as a game platform. This is the new Amiga CD32 game system. Like 3DO, it features 32-bit architecture, but unlike 3DO, the cost of the unit is under $400. Commodore says it can bring out the game system at a lower price because it's using existing Amiga computer technology. Nintendo announced plans for its new 64-bit game platform called Project Reality, developed in a joint venture with computer maker Silicon Graphics. But while Nintendo and Silicon Graphics were talking about a 64-bit game platform, old-timer Atari was shipping its new 64-bit Jaguar game system. It would be sweet irony for Atari, which founded the video game business and then lost it, to come out on top in the next battle for the video game consumer. That's our look at the Winter Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Stuart Chaffee.
Computer Chronicles is brought to you in part by Intel, microprocessor technology for the software of today and tomorrow. Intel, the computer inside. Additional funding is provided by the Software Publishers Association, providers of educational materials to help manage software. Don't copy that floppy. And by Hewlett-Packard, Personal Computer Division.
Video cassette copies of this program are available. Computer Chronicles also publishes a companion newsletter containing details on products demonstrated and information on program topics. To order a video cassette or a newsletter, call 1-800-799-4949 or write Computer Chronicles. Please specify program subject for tapes. All orders include a free software program for auditing software use and information on the definitive guide to keeping your organization's software legal.